Good evening, Mr. Romany Rye. Had myself a bit of a haircut here today. This morning I loaded up the last of my mum's sister's videos. And I was thinking this morning, we're all getting older. I'm 64 this year. And I thank the Lord that I'm still here. Sometimes I can't believe it. But if I can be spared a bit longer, I'd like a bit longer. A good old mate of mine who's been with me all the years, really. Old Darcy, Eddie Richards, he's called. And he's been my mentor for years. And he said to me, he was a good philosopher, very clever man, very well learned man. And he said to me one day, life is like a ride on a bus. When we get on, we go straight to the back and we sit down at the back. As the years go on, we gradually move forward until one day it's our turn to get off the bus. And we get off the bus and there it is. What sort of bus ride you have along the way, who knows? But anyway, I've mentioned all my mum's sisters, my mum's brothers, the ones that are left. Uncle Fred, I've interviewed him, as you know. There's Uncle Sammy and Uncle Samson. Now, if they want to be part of this, I'll only be too glad to interview them. If they don't, fair enough. So if anyone hears this, or they see it, and they want to be part of it, I'll do it, no problem. It's really for future generations, all these videos, so they know where we've all come from and who we was. Now, I got so many cousins. I don't know some of them, even. Some of them I do. And the ones I grew up around me closely was Tommy and Freddie and Patrick and Joseph. And Edith's two boys, Kenny and Brian. My cousin Harriet. Samson and Robert. And my cousin Nelsie. When he wants something, he'll come and see me. That was one time. I haven't seen him since. We only seem to catch up at funerals these days. That's sad, really. But that's life, I suppose. That's the way it is. My cousin Harriet, Uncle Freddie's gal. She's very close. We've had a few words in and out. But that's the way it is. Tommy and Freddie and Patrick. I used to go up there a lot. Get around with Uncle Tommy a lot, so I know they boys well. Uncle Joey's family, Nation and Louise and Freddie and all. When we was growing up, I knew they quite well. Kenny and Brian, I spent lots of time with Alan and Carol Ann, Aunt Liza's children. So really, we don't spend enough time or even contact each other. On my dad's side, and Clarice's two children, Sally Ann and Jason, don't hear from them. That's much my fault as it is theirs, so that's just the way it is. But we got to remember that sometime it's going to be our turn to get off that bus. So, any of my cousins listening to this and they want to put a little bit on about their families, their close families, I'm only too delighted to do it. Because as I said, it's going to be for the future generations. And unless we do something about it now, all we have left is photographs, and then you pass that down, and then it all gets forgotten. But these films, hopefully, that are going up, will be there for a long time. So, looking at myself today, I think Dolly Mandy is getting old now. We're older. And that's what makes you think about it. Yesterday, Patrick sent me some photographs. I've never seen the likes of them. I expect at some point he'll put them up for us all to see. But they're not mine to put up at this time. So I expect he will do that. And I want to clear up one other point. The song I wrote about Uncle Joe was not about my uncle. My Uncle Joey. I come up to Exeter 24 years ago on the 12th of this month. And I got talking to a fella, and he described to me what happened. In fact, it was his cousin, not his uncle. So I picked the bones out of the conversation, and that's where the song come from. But in fact, this fella accumulated millions, not thousands, millions. And the old boy that he got set into him, the old cancer. And he said, just look at me. I'm dying much. I got thousands in the bank, and it didn't worth nothing to me. I can't buy my way out of this one. So we all look at each other and we say, well, the money that we got, or any of us got, when it comes right down to the bad situations, you can't buy them. You can't buy your way out. Because when it's time to get off that bus, when the good Lord says, that's it, that's it. So that song came about because of lots of talks with this fella. So I don't want anybody to think I was singing about Uncle Joey, because it wouldn't Uncle Joey. So that's cleared that up. And I want to include another man who I consider to be family. And that's Nel Andrews. He married my cousin Harriet. Lovely man. And a few years back, I built a lorry. I have lorry. I think it was my lorry. I don't think it was Nigel's. And we went to Penzance to pick up a load of scrap. And in 8 days, you had to go down through Conor Downs, right the way through the windy roads, up over Roseworthy Hill. Anyway, we was coming back from Penzance loaded. And just at that time, the bypass wasn't built. So you had to go around the roundabout to get on the bypass. In actual fact, it was right out beside the Galver station. So we approached, I was driving, I approached the roundabout, and just over there on the side of the road was an hitchhiker. Stood up there like a soldier with his thumb out. I went round the roundabout, and the body and the scrap all come off the back of the lorry. Body as well. And missed him by inches. Nigel will tell you the story. One of these days when I talk to Nigel, he'll tell you. Now, had it not been for the fact that Nigel knew the ministry man, I'd have been loud for hundreds of pounds. Dangerous loads and all the rest of it. But Nigel knew the man, and we really got away with it. But in his younger days, Nigel was wild. Never seen a faster man in a car. Oh my God. He turned over several times, he have. He turned over on the top road of Lanner, and he turned over down on the bottom road of Lanner, on his side. He had fast motors, man. Lotuses, Ford Anglias, shooting right up. You could hear Nigel coming from miles away. We used to stand up Uncle Tommy Mavis's. Nigel would leave, and then we'd hear him go across the top. Oh my God. Like a complete loony bin. But nevertheless, Nigel was a good old boy. Me and Nigel never had no crosswords or angry words in our life. They was next door neighbours to us. Nigel and Harriet. I think Harriet, in fact, was my, or still is, my ex-wife's best friend. And they love each other. And Harriet and Nigel just lived next door to us. But then they moved up the top of Trevarth, the barn up there. They bought that property. And they went on from there. Nigel went into lorry dealing and done very well for himself. Can't take nothing away from him. But they got 2 children, see? Young Nigel, baby Nigel, and Henry. Henry's a card man, and so is Nigel. Nigel. You would never find a finer man in this country to have knowledge about films than baby Nigel. The man is a genius when it comes to that. And Henry, well, Henry's just a good old boy. Yeah, he's a good old boy, old Henry. Never called me nothing but Uncle Clara home all his life. Even now. Yeah. So, that's about it tonight from the Romany Rye. We'll get back on the old scrap tales tomorrow. And I still got a couple short versions of videos to put up of Uncle Fred yet. So they'll be going up soon. And it's bye-bye from the Romany Rye. I'll catch you next time.